Morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. It's Singh here. So we're gonna do a ES futures review. No change in the approach. It's gonna be as usual, top-down approach, and then we're gonna go into a little bit of detail into the market profile. So first, we're gonna see what is happening at a broader time frame and what is happening at the lower time frame. So I'm gonna start right now with the monthly time frame. So monthly time frame, as we see, the market is in balance on a larger time frame balance within 10 months balance. So here we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So it's quite in a balanced time frame. And then we but at the same time, what we see basically, we are the market is trending lower since this year onward, and there has not been any breach or confirmation that the trend on monthly time frame has been changed. So on this year, the trend on a monthly time frame is still intact to the downside. So this is the February high that currently we have 4579.50, which likely to act as strong resistance uh, before this level is being taken out, right? So it's an important level from larger time frame perspective. So what we have seen right now, market is trending lower, trying to find a balance, and then we saw a rally in last 2 3 days. Why it happened, how we could see on the shorter time frame, that we will go into later on. Let's look at weekly time frame. So here is the weekly time frame. As we could see here on a weekly time frame, the market has been trending lower on a weekly time frame. There was an attempt to break this level on a weekly time frame but failed, and once it failed, it went all the way to the other end of the weekly balance low and then bounced back exactly from this low all the way to the upside. So currently at this point of time, the weekly trend has changed and daily trend has changed. So the next resistance we likely to find somewhere at these levels, right? At these levels or these levels. This levels is uh, quite a strong resistance, but it also have sort of weakness because it is exactly at the same level. So we are watching right now, the trend has changed, market has changed the trend, market has been coming to the downside, made one attempt to break, failed, trended lower, and now we have seen a strong rally since Tuesday onward, last week, all the way to the Friday close. Let's look at daily. So everyone has been watching this trend line on daily and has been watching to see the breakout, right? This was the trend line. People were trying to see what happens at this trend line will break or not, and we are currently seeing it's a clear breakout on this particular trend line, right? Now what we have to see, whether this move continue, the breakout continue to the upside, or it find any resistance at these levels that currently we are seeing, right? So this is on a very larger time frame, the action that we are currently seeing. uh, so on a daily time frame, we are seeing, as we could see here, the market was in sort of balance, which I will also show you in the market profile. And then what we saw was the breakout retest of the balance high and then started moving higher. So we will discuss all these details in our market profile context. So currently it's a breakout, and if the move continue, it's going to be continue because the trend is to the upside on a shorter time frame, right? So this what I just discussed is on a larger time frame, bit of uh, how the market is showing the market generated information on a monthly time frame, weekly time frame, daily time frame. Of course, we are a day trader, but at the same time, we have to make sure that we understand what are the key levels on a larger time frame like uh, weekly and monthly time frame, right? So let's go into our balance guidelines. So what we saw Friday, there was as you could see here, this was very important level for 4400. I would say market tried to find a support here, and then it break down to the downside again, was in balance, then it moved to the upper side. Then I think there was a weekly level which got rejection, and at this point of time, where Bullard made a statement that there has not been any change in the market, and from Fed perspective, things remains as usual. So uh, the moment he made a statement, market moved to the downside immediately, and then what we saw here, market here when market traded lower, then here try to find a support, went up, then I think there was a lot of fight here in this zone, but again short sellers continue to move the market to the downside. Again, a lot of people try to buy here at this level. Look at this precise level. So these were the like small weekend traders try to buy, and then again there was impulsive move to the downside, and then market has been in a balance for long time, very long time. So a lot of people has a lot of large money was short below 4400, right? So here a lot of people were short. Now what we are seeing currently is breakout of this balance. So normally what happens when this breakout happens, there are two scenarios. Either the breakout is where the breakout the happen, it will continue to move to a higher side, but at the same time we have to see what are the next possible resistance that comes on the way, and we only have to act at key levels which are stronger key levels, not like if we are seeing like 2 minutes 5 minute chart that may not provide any validation of resistance, but we need to see what is happening around key major key levels. So right now it's a breakout of this balance, so that means all the people who are short below this range, they are likely to be squeezed to the upper side. Now again, what are the possible scenarios of squeeze? Normally what happens, market once it comes out of the balance, the minimum measured move, it goes to cover half of the balance of this. So this was the total balance. So if I take the half of this balance, which is somewhere around 4577.25, that's why I have mentioned strong resistance. Now again, market may not find an exact resistance at these levels, it might find somewhere here because it's already quite strong resistance, right? So there could be a possibility market might find resistance in these zones, somewhere in this zone, right? So we have to see what happens. There is a trend line as well coming. So does market find resistance around 4520, or might be an interim resistance around 40, 45, 4480 or 4477. 77 is a very important numerical level in S&P 500. I mean, me and one of my friend, we used to discuss about certain key levels, and what we have found that that ES always react to 77, whether it acts as resistance or either it acts as support. So let's see what happened around 77 level, and then from there onward we see. Right now it's a breakout, so breakout is in favor of bulls, so that means any pullback is expected to be bought. So for the thought that we have to have is buy any pullback as long as it remains above this particular balance. Now if market start trading lower below this balance, then what happens, the short sellers are going to uh, pile up on this particular move, and all the people who bought the breakout on Friday, they could be trapped here. and this is very interesting, balance strategy, very powerful, so this could act as a, if price start trading lower below 4400, it could act as a breakout failure. But what buyer are going to do, they are going to buy any pullback as long as price remains above this 4400 level. And why buyers are going to buy? Because many people are short within this zone. Now once price pulls back, people who are short, now they see this as breakout. So once they see this as a breakout, what are they going to do? They are going to cover their shorts. So once they cover their shorts, they are actually providing a buy liquidity to move the prices up. So let's say if I shorted this market at, let's say, 43.50, now price is up, right? What I'm going to do, as soon as price comes back, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, okay, now the price is lower, let's cover my short. As soon as I cover my short, the price will move up. Of course it will not happen with my order, because I don't take a large sizes, but I'm talking about the people who trade with the large size, like 1,000 contracts, 2,000 contracts, or 3,000 contracts. Those kind of guys, if they try to buy back their shorts, and they assume that market will have to go higher because the trend has changed, so they will have to cover and provide the liquidity to move the prices higher. This is very important. Now what happens in many cases, people think that, oh, market is actually breakout happened and market is moving higher, and a lot of people are buying, but not necessarily the smart money buy at that time, because um, uh, that price could be moving just because of the short cover. So that, but that's how the short covering help to go to the long side, because that short are going to cover, so you put your buy on order where you expect to find a support, and that's where the shorts are going to cover, because shorts, the trapped shorts always look where the support is there, and they know that this is a support and the market may not go lower, let's cover here because that's the best price for them to cover. And then you put a buy order, and then price will go in your favor. That's how it works, right? So this is a very important level. Keep in mind 44,100, 4,400 level. So if price comes back within this zone, you expect price to trade back to within the balance again to the downside. And if price stays above this balance, it's a bullish reversal, because market has been trending lower for a very, very long time. So what we have to do, we have to follow market generated information rather than having any bias to the upside or to the long side. So right now, the market generated information tell us it's a breakout of balance. So we stay long, buy pullback, and continue to be long, right? That's how we have to be. But as soon as price start trading lower below this level, then you have to be conscious. Now you see this W is forming, right? It's a very nice W on a daily time frame, I would say. Look at this W, right? So what happens when W forms, there is always sort of a pullback, and it makes a bull flag, right? So the price pulls back, and then a lot of people think that this is a short opportunity, they try to short, and what happens, the price actually start trading above. So you see this particular wick, as long as price remains above this particular wick, it's going to be basically a lot of short covering we expect to happen around these levels. So just keep that in mind. Now let's look at market profile. What happened last week, right? So starting from Monday, as we could see, the market got too emotional, on the sell side. Of course, I mean, it was too emotional. So for me, it was very good because the momentum was to the downside. So these were clear-cut shorts, but at the same time, it was a quite emotional move to the downside. It was very emotional, and it was evident through the market profile. As you could see, a lot of weak references, a lot of people were shorting from exact references. Look at IBL here, IBL here, and then it started trending lower, and then here we see, when it went to the L period, a very emotional. As soon as M period opened, and it started way going to the downside, so everyone started shorting this move because it was trending lower and it was below initial balance range. But it was very clear that these were not strong hands, because the moves was coming from a very exact references, right? And then the other day, what we saw, uh, the market opened somewhere here, tried to go to the upside. Then again, the traders took advantage of shorting again from the same level, from the previous IBL range, and price traded significant to the lower side and made a poor low. So poor low, that means it's a price exhaustion. Sorry, sell exhaustion. Price stopped trading here, and this is RTH profile. I'm not discussing anything in the for the ETH session at this point of time because of the lack of time. And then what we saw, the sell was shut off here, selling was shut off here, and here we had a lot of single prints. The following day, price traded lower back to this single print, and this is where the shorts were there. So short was keep on getting too short, and so people who were short here, they could not sell anymore below this level. So as soon as price traded lower, they started covering again exactly from the single print. So this was like a strong short cover bounce, and people realized that it's not getting any lower. And then we saw the initial balance high breakout the other day, and price started trending higher. So on this particular day, I was quite bullish and I was just buying. It was quite evident. I mentioned also to everyone in all the groups, as long as price remains above 77, it's in favor of bull. If price start trading below 77, it's bearish. So I was long at 80 and I kept buying that day all the way to the upside. So yeah, so this was very interesting day. Now this was the kind of day where I got a little bit confused, and I was trying to short. Um, I was trying to take short, and within this zone, somehow it was working greatly. Sorry, not this particular day. I think this was the FOMC, right? Yeah. So here, yeah, I was trying to take shorts here. Of course, I couldn't really catch all this large move, but what I did basically, I did mention to everyone that 60, um, 42.60, 42.40, and 42.20 was the supports to buy during the FOMC day. So I did scalp from 42.60 to the upper side, quickly scalp few points, although market went 20 plus points. And then I got long at 43, and I put a stop loss. I trailed my stop loss and I got stopped out. So you can imagine how best price I had from the support level that I had shared with you guys. And then all of a sudden, price started going up, and then I chased, caught again few points, and then I thought this move could get a rejection here, and I started taking short because this was the balance, right? This was the balance. This was the balance. So I thought the market might reject and it might be look above and fail. I tried to take short here, but price started going above initial balance low, and then I exited, and price made a huge move to the upper side, because I think a lot of people might be shorting here to the downside when price was trading lower. but the other guys, they were looking some sort of key supports, like I mentioned in the Discord group: 4260, 4240, 4220. These were three support levels, and uh, definitely from all these two levels, price bounced back sharply, and we could see here. So I exited with a very small loss here, and then market started trending higher. Now this particular day, I was like trying to short. Somehow all the shorts worked except one particular position. So I thought this could be like, the this move that happened the other day on the FOMC. It could be like fake breakout and market move to the downside. So my bias told me that, because of FOMC, I should start taking short position. That was not a great idea, because if we see the balance, it was a balance breakout on this time frame, right? So why do I need to take short? So I was biased because of FOMC, because everyone was saying that on the FOMC, the first move is always the wrong move, the fake out move. So again, I mean, I really had a good day, not a bad day. One stop, one particular, I think one order. Although market was trending higher, but still it was a decent day taking short positions, right? And normally, how do I take short positions? I What I do basically, I try to short within the initial balance high. So once IBH breaks, then I kind of avoid taking shorts. But again, if I see some sort of resistance, I still take shorts, and I was keep taking shorts, and somehow, it did work. When L stopped going lower than this, then I stopped shorting, because as we could see, the market break out to the upper side. So yeah, so here the shorts were working very well. As we could see, this was the initial balance high, price was trending lower, and then it was kept going higher. Now interestingly, uh, on Friday, uh, this was an important level, because this was the spike base for us, right? Spike base. So the spike guideline says if price stays remains above, it is bullish acceptance. If price opens below this, then it is a little bit of negative, right? So I kind of first thought, the price opened below spike base. I thought it might be like, a negative, but it started trading higher, and then I realized that price was going higher, and then uh, yeah, price was going higher, and it was trading right above this. So I did mention in the Discord, as long as price remains above this level, it is bullish, right? So there was no reason to short the market. Of course, you could have shorted again within the initial balance high, and made couple of points, as long as IBH does not break. And of course, the price did initial balance high breakout, then uh, the price was keep moving upper on 20 EMA moving average, because it picked up the trend. So this breakout, normally what happens, if overnight high and previous day high breaks, the market keeps going higher and higher. So that's what we have seen the trend day. Now we have a spike base coming Monday. So as long as price remains above this level, it is accepted. If price opens below and spend more time below this spike base in the regular trading hour session, then it's a rejection of all these higher prices. Then we have to think that market might trade lower. But keep in mind, as long as this particular level, which is RTL, which is 4378.75, as long as this level do not breach, the market is still trending higher on a daily time frame, and even the weekly time frame has changed. So no need to go bearish uh, unless there is any change on a daily time frame. So changes always represents the opportunity, and at this point of time, we have clearly seen that the daily is trending higher, and the values is shifting higher and higher. So there is no reason to short, and we could see a lot of shorts are trapped here. So these are the locations where we could see price, bouncing back as well on coming week: 4447, 4436, 4419, 4418.75. Where it could go, where we could find some sort of resistance, I have already mentioned to you. We're gonna look at around 4480 level, how the price react to these 77.25, 4480 level. Um, um, that might be a minor resistance, but you no need to take the top short position. The short can be always taken if there is any change to the previous day low, right? And again, we could also see what is happening during the uh, market opening within the initial balance. If initial balance low failure happened, that is another possible uh, possibility of rejecting higher prices. But if market is keep trending higher, then I would say that we stay with the trend. So my job is to stay bullish as long as we have the price above 4406.75 and there is no breach of 4379. As long as these two levels remains intact, I remain bullish. And if there is any change in these levels, which are these two levels, 4406.75 and 4379, right? So as long as price keep bouncing, I'm going to look for price coming down. I'm going to look for possible buy. But at the same time, keep in mind that the larger monthly time frame is still to the downside. It's only daily and weekly which has changed, which is, I think, more than enough for us to buy any pullback. But I would like to be very cautious. If price start going lower than this level, then I would be a little bit conscious, because if price goes below this level, then the potential destination of this move is retest of this balance, or it could even go back lower to the lower end of this balance as well, right? So I will have to be very conscious uh, to see whether price remains above this balance or any change happens. So as long as price remains in a daily trend, we remain bullish. I hope you like the video. I've did some little bit of detail this time, sharing my thought process that I had during the week as well, right? So I was quite wrong on this particular day, which I as I mentioned that I was a little bit biased on this move during the FOMC. I thought this was the short cover, and when I looked at the footprint, it was not. Interestingly, right before the market opening on Friday, we could very clearly see that large money participated right 5 minutes before the market opened. So they put a huge buy order to move the market to the upper side. So smart money was already positioned to squeeze the shorts. So they were buying the market, and we could very clearly see on DOM that sellers were trying hard to sell them to bring the prices down, but they were like very small. So as a result, they could not push the price down. And I would like to mention important thing about this 20 EMA, and I've mentioned to my team in the Discord, as long as price remains above 20 EMA, just keep buying. This is where this confirms the trend. So algos actually normally works on this 20 EMA, and you could very clearly see dot to the tick. So here I have bought it, here again sold it, here again bought it, sold it somewhere here. I was just doing quick scalp. I even bought it here 43, and then yeah, couple of levels I bought it, but I couldn't really buy it at the last minute. It was just a quick scalp of 2-3 points to the upper side. And we could see here a large buy order has gone at the close. Now we got to see what happens next week, right? So the potential targets for the longs is 4480, 4492. If price started trading lower below 4452, we could see the price start pulling lower to the a little bit lower, maybe to the previous day VWAP, which is 4420. So keep that in mind. right? These are the important levels. Price might come back to this level. Thank you very much. Appreciate you watching this video and spending a lot of time. Actually, I put, I think, a lot of time in this video. Normally I don't spend, I normally try to go quite short, like 12 to 15 minutes, but I thought to give a little bit of detail what is happening in the market and how you have to position yourself from larger time frame perspective as well, but not looking at smaller time frame. And this is what I'm gonna do. And people in the Discord, of course, you know what I do in the you know, I share my thoughts time to time, minutes to minutes. Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend, and I hope we make good money next week.